How drone fever spread across New Jersey and beyond. It was a dry and cool Wednesday evening outside the Army's Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey, a long-time military installation that once made the bombs and shells that led to victory in World War II. A contractor there knocked off work and decided to wait out rush hour traffic. He picked up some takeout from Wawa, parked outside a nearby wildlife preserve, and settled in to watch an episode of Joe Rogan's podcast on his phone. And then he saw a flash in the side mirror, the light rising straight up from the tree line and towards the arsenal. He started recording. Could it have been a plane? Or was it a drone? And so began what seems to be the origin of the ongoing drone saga. The contractor called in his sighting to his supervisor on November 13, and others followed quickly, first throughout the country, then the rest of New Jersey, then into neighboring states. Countless people have reported mysterious hovering objects dotting the night skies and posting blurred images, a white light, a black background. On social media, every day for weeks, drones and drones. Small drones, drones big as vans, blinking, stationary, speeding, and zipping and buzzing. Jeffrey Parker first saw them outside his Vineland, New Jersey apartment building. He was barefoot checking the mail, and there they were, 3 lights flying low and slow. Parker, 65 years old, said, "I was like, oh, that's not airplanes." Was it a foreign government or our own government? Kids? Visitors from space? The story grew to consume police departments, sheriffs and FBI, and Department of Homeland Security, and former reality TV star with the supposed inside line to NASA, mayors, governors, the White House, and the president-elect. But now it appears increasingly likely that if there were any drones at all, it was very few, and that most of the drones people did see, stay with this, were up there looking for the drones people thought they were seeing. Mounting evidence and lack thereof suggests that perhaps the whole craze has been a sort of communal fever dream fueled by crowd mentality, confirmation bias, and the general distrust in all things official. This explanation had been widely rejected by those sharing their personal drone experiences, leaving them feeling belittled and gaslit and creating the kind of hothouse where conspiracy theories take root, grow, and thrive. Out in the ocean, 5 days after the Arsenal sighting, on November 18, multiple drones were reported there and elsewhere in surrounding Morris County. A Facebook page called Live Storm Chasers, with 1.3 million followers, posted a 5-drone sighting. The Morris County Prosecutor's Office issued a statement from sheriffs, police chiefs, and emergency officials that simultaneously acknowledged and downplayed the sightings and urged people to be mindful that what they read online may not be accurate. Still, a day later, the FBI quietly opened its own investigation into the drones. The agency would later announce a drone hotline and received some 5,000 tips. And the Federal Aviation Administration posted temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drone flights over the Arsenal, and shortly after, the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster. The owner of the club would weigh in soon enough. November turned to December, and without any new proven evidence or data to frame what was happening, the story exploded. A lack of facts became pure oxygen on social media, and on its heels, mainstream media, even people's Ring doorbells, equipped to alert users with messages from other Ring users, began to ping out drone sightings. Jessica Fiorento, 33, mother of 2 young children in Toms River, had heard about drones, but when she went to the beach one night, she could not believe what she saw. She said, all the way out in the ocean, drones, she said on Friday in an interview. Some would stay above the ocean and some would come onto the land. She alerted her followers on TikTok, normally filled with mom posts, and kept going out every night, sometimes to other beaches, always posting videos. They are very low in seaside heights right now, she said in a video on a recent December night, pointing out 2 lights. Part of me is starting to maybe think that red drone is someone's drone, like someone's here, putting it up like police, she reported. and the one above it is the unidentified drone. The video was viewed more than 393,000 times. The federal government was widely seen as being slow to react and confusing in its messages, which was essentially don't panic but be vigilant. Then came Sunday, December 8, at Island Beach State Park, a narrow strip of coastline in southern New Jersey. A state park police officer contacted the local Ocean County Sheriff's Office with a frightening report right out of a summer blockbuster. 50 drones were coming from the ocean towards the mainland, the sheriff, Michael Mastronardi, told Fox News. He rushed to the beach and met the officer. She had legitimate information she provided, the sheriff said in a recent interview. The following night, the sheriff was joined by Republican Congressman Representative Chris Smith, who wanted a first-hand look. He said the drones have so far evaded identification, origin, mission, or potential threat to Americans, and criticized the Biden administration for not taking it seriously. Senator Andy Kim, Democrat of New Jersey, was frustrated by a lack of information, so he accompanied police officers December 12 to 3 sites that had been flooded with drone calls. They were kind of pointing out things that were flying, he said. Some were like, that's a drone. These are police officers. They've been out there for weeks now. He took videos, he showed them to aviation experts who convinced him that the objects were actually manned aircraft. It kind of highlighted to me, this is the information that people need, he said. Other lawmakers have suggested that the drones should be shot out of the sky. Some people may have tried to heed that call. In a way, plane and helicopter pilots reported dozens of incidents of lasers being pointed at them over New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania in early December. Shining a laser at an aircraft can injure or blind the pilot and is a federal crime. The FBI responded and urged people to stop. Ms. Fiorentino, her once mom talk, now a full-time drone talk, was still recording every night and growing more alarmed at what she was seeing. There's stuff spraying out of them. This is new to me, she said in a video on December 15. That video was viewed 485,000 times. And another she posted about spraying got 2.8 million views. Jennifer McDonald, 48, taking her 15-minute break outside a Walmart in Pennsville, still had not seen a drone well into December. Her husband kept asking her, and then she went outside and looked up. Hot damn, she said. She called her husband on FaceTime, and they spent her whole break watching the little lights in the sky together. Airplanes and stars. By mid-December, after weeks of shrugs, the federal government stepped up its attempt to explain what was going on. In short, officials said they're not drones. An FBI representative told reporters that of the 5,000 hotline tips it received, fewer than 100 leads had been generated and deemed worthy of further investigation. 4 federal agencies quickly echoed that analysis, saying the bright lights floating or flying in the night sky above New Jersey were airplanes, helicopters, stars, or drones that were not suspicious. The messaging did not appear to resonate among the people looking up. Senator Kim, shopping with his 2 sons at a Lego store in the Cherry Hill malls recently, was approached with one question. What is happening with the drones? Bethany Frankel, formerly of The Real Housewives of New York City, became another regular drone reporter on TikTok. I know this guy whose father worked with the Pentagon and NASA and secret projects. He's been messaging me that he will never forgive himself if he does not tell people what he knows, she began in a post last week. These drones are ours and quite possibly could be sniffing out something dangerous. The following morning, the Good Day New York program on Fox reported her claim and that it has something to do with radioactive material in New Jersey. Rosanna Scotto, the host, said on air. At a news conference on December 16, the same day the federal agency said most reported drone sightings were not drones, President-elect Donald Trump was asked about the situation and he chuckled. He said, the government knows what's happening. For some reason, they don't want to comment. He seemed to allude to the airspace restrictions over his club in Bedminster, where he said he'd planned to go the following weekend. And he said, I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I decided to cancel my trip. By the end of the week, looking to literally clear the air, the FAA announced a ban on drone use in airspace above critical infrastructure in more than 90 communities in New Jersey and New York. And Senator Kim said on Friday that federal drone detecting devices had been put in place in hot spots in recent weeks and had not detected any drones. This will likely do little to calm jittery public. In Tom's River, Ms. Fiorentino said she'll keep posting TikTok videos. She said, "We have no answers. They're still there. I hear more counties are getting them. More states are getting them," she said. And if she's being honest, it's a nice diversion after a long day of work and kids. People are relying on me to go out there, she said. For me, it was like, okay, I can take a break from the chaos inside. At Picatinny Arsenal, where it all began weeks ago, the contractor who reported what he saw in his car's mirror has otherwise stayed quiet about the incident, telling just a few colleagues and old college classmates he is speaking out now on the condition that his name be withheld because he is not authorized to address the matter. As he's watched the drone frenzy spread across the country, he said he could not help but worry he is to blame. He said, "I feel like I've caused mass hysteria." This is from New York Times on DNYUZ. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.